Did you see my boots? Do you like them? I want to talk to you about something that has been on my mind for quite some time, and it's something that's affected me every single day. Going into 2023, I know I'm a little bit late, and I know I haven't posted. Stop yelling at me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I wanted to talk to you about something that I call desperation energy and why it's ruining your life as it was ruining mine. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Have you ever wanted something so badly? So badly, I mean, just you start dreaming about it. You start thinking about it constantly, day and night. You can't sleep because you're just thinking about this thing so much. You're obsessed. You're desperate. You'll do anything. I mean, whatever it takes to get that thing. Whether it's a job or a career, or you want to start a business, you want to start a bar where only people over 35 can enter and anybody else is not welcome. I don't know. Whatever. Take your pick. Comfortable. For me, it was acting. I was so desperate to start acting. When I finished college, I decided to move to LA. And I'm a little bit ashamed to say that after a month and a half, I ran back to Colorado because I just wasn't ready and I didn't have the best intentions. And I was desperate. I was desperate about fulfilling other things that were not realistic, let's just say. Luckily, I was able to find a community of like-minded people who had the same goals as myself in Denver, Colorado, and I ended up coming across the best acting school, the best acting studio, and the best acting community I could have wished for, and that was Benji Dobrin Studios. And in that space, we were able to not only get better at acting and study and make friendships, but we were able to just have like a space where we could be creative. It was really great because I got enough experience to land my first agent in Denver, and I went on to audition for a lot of projects, mostly commercial stuff, voiceover, a couple of feature films here and there, print jobs, etc. Somewhere along the way, though, I got bombarded with a bunch of not so accurate advice and a community of pay for play type scenarios. And what do I mean by that? It was a bunch of workshops on just things that I already knew that I took from people in the community who said they had the best intention and said that they were experts in whatever I needed to do in order to jump on to the next step in my acting career. A lot of promises, but even more money was just thrown at these workshops by me. It was to the point where I was taking workshop after workshop after workshop and headshots and doing all these things and paying these people a bunch of money to just hear the same things. And to my knowledge, later understanding that it was a bunch of bullshit. And that happens a lot. But in that span of, I don't know, maybe 2 years, I started creating this energy around me that I call desperation energy. I was so desperate to get to the end goal that I was forgetting that it's a journey and that not everybody has the same journey, and that I was giving up my own power to other people who didn't have the best intentions, and I was creating a desperate energy that just attached to myself, and it was ruining my life. It was to the point where I was making sure that everything around my life, whether it was friendships, family, relationships at the time, even stability, financial stability, came last. And the only important thing was acting and these workshops and these people's opinions and just learning as much as I could. Don't get me wrong, I think it's very important to learn as much as you can, to take acting classes and to just train, whatever that may look like for you. But for me, in this journey, I gave up too much of my power and I created this mess of desperation energy where I would go into auditions and I was so desperate to get the part. I was so sick and tired of giving everything up and being broke and just being in this lifestyle that I just wanted a break. I wanted so desperately to just book that job, to land that big thing, that desperation energy started seeping out of my pores, and people could not only see it, they could sense it, they could smell it, and they did not want it. I mean, who would, right? As humans, we judge, whether we like to admit it or not. It just reeks of weakness. And it sucks because oftentimes, maybe in your situation, you're so desperate to get a job, or maybe get that promotion, or just freaking land an interview. You're desperate. You'll do anything. And it sucks because people might be interviewing you or might be, I don't know, considering you for that promotion, and they see how desperate and that desperation energy is stuck on you, that they almost see it as a sign of weakness and they don't want you. And it sucks because if you're in a situation where you need to provide for yourself or a family, you need a job and you're desperate, and somebody's hiring, but they look you over because you're too desperate, it's unfortunate and it's cruel. It's stupid. Anyways, everything started going to shit. I wasn't booking anything for a really long time. I was looking tired. I started noticing that little things in my life just started piling up and just going downhill. I ended up moving to New Mexico, luckily, through preparation, through my own work, because I was doing work. When I was not being desperate, I landed an agent here in New Mexico. But because of desperation energy, I also signed with a management team that was not a management team. And again, this cycle of desperation energy followed me while I was here. I just wanted to say that desperation energy ruins your life. It takes you off course and away from what your goals are. And it takes you into a really dark place. And if you are someone that's going through that, who has maybe noticed that things are just not going their way, and you're sick of working really hard and not getting anywhere, maybe it's time to look at yourself and ask yourself, are you going through desperation energy? Are people noticing that? Is it actually hurting you? Be honest with yourself. I think sometimes desperation energy can also hide behind what maybe burnout looks like, where you're just so tired, you're fatigued, you don't find joy anymore in the things that once brought you a smile, brought you hope, gave you direction in your life, a purpose. Sometimes we lose ourselves just thinking about the end goal when we don't even know what that looks like. We lose ourselves and we don't appreciate the present. We don't appreciate the lessons that we have to learn. And we don't appreciate that those lessons and that journey, it's gonna take you through the process and you're gonna end up with something that you had no idea it was gonna look like that, because how could you? But it fits around your life, your goals, your morals, your purpose, like it should. And I think we rob ourselves of that, just so desperate thinking about the end goal when we have no idea what the end goal is going to look like. It's being shaped in the moment. Well, that happened to me. And it took a really long time, and I'm sad to say that it took me to some dark places. But fortunately, I came out of it realizing that I was so desperate. So freaking desperate to act, to be part of a big production, to do all these other things that I didn't realize what I actually wanted. When I took a step back, I want to say 2 years ago, and I told myself, I am not going to give my power away to anybody else anymore. I really don't care if it costs me parts or auditions or an agency. I can't do this to myself because it's making me miserable. I wasn't visiting with my family as much as I wanted to, and they don't live in the same state. I wasn't present in my relationship. I wasn't out having fun with friends and actually enjoying my life. I was seeing my life passing by day, and then realizing that I didn't even appreciate anything anymore. That's not a life to live. And so I didn't want to be desperate anymore. I just said, F it, I don't really care if it takes me longer than another person because they were so desperate they moved to LA or they moved to Atlanta or they moved somewhere else to do these things. I just want to be happy and content. And then I also realized that there are a lot of aspects of the film industry and TV that I really hate that were making me miserable. There are a lot of predators in this industry and a lot of people who just don't have the best interests. They will use you, they'll abuse you, they'll take your money. It really doesn't matter. There's a lot of political stuff that's happening right now too that just didn't align with my morals, with my values. And it was making me miserable. And I didn't want to be in that shit circle. And it's crazy. As soon as I decided not to be desperate, to be true to myself, to go back to what was important to my life, to enjoy the process, enjoy the creativity, it's like someone hit a reset button in my life. The craziest things just started happening. I started booking jobs, networking with people who align with my values a bit more on creativity and business. And I was collaborating with them. Still am. Where do you think I got these boots? And it was just making me happier. And I started to appreciate the little things and appreciate my life and live in the present again. And I've been so much happier. But it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gone through that and realized how much it was ruining my life. And so, Gigi and I just want to tell you, stop being desperate. No one likes a desperate Billy or Betty. It's not good. They can smell it, they can see it, they can sense it. It's a repellent for some reason. I want you to promise me that you'll stop being desperate and enjoy the process, enjoy the moment, live presently, and take back your power and watch and see how magical it is. Things will start turning around in your life for the better. There's something so, I guess, attractive to humans when they see someone that's confident and prepared and they say, hey, I want to hire that person. I want to hang out with that person. I want to be with that person. Or whatever. It's just weird. Maybe it goes back to hunter-gatherer times where you really could not be weak or you would be killed. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's a very fascinating and weird phenomenon. But anyways, that's all I wanted to tell you. Going to 2023 and the rest of your life, your journey, whatever it is, get rid of that desperate energy. It's hurting you. And reclaim your power. Live in the present. Take advantage of everything you have. And if you're not happy with something, then change it. But don't be desperate. Don't be desperate. Okay, bye.